Well, because I'm the last one, I should have something that make you awake, right? So could you please, everyone, can you put your hand in your pocket, take out one note, a Korean won, US dollar, whatever, like in your hand. If you don't have any note in your pocket, take out your credit card, your key room, whatever.
Is this a magic
But
trick?
please,
It's gonna
if you have a note, just raise your hands and yes, 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 right there, yes. Money, you see? That's the beauty of blockchain. When you talk about money, it gets excited. So everybody ready with your money? Yes? Well, yeah, that's awesome. You see? Now, that money, it should be for me because I'm sharing knowledge, right? And somebody said that if you're good at something, you don't do it for free, right? But now, I don't do that. Take that money, give it to the person on your right.
I have no money, sorry.
Okay, give it to the person on your right.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
And then, well, if they're a distance, just jump over. And remember this. You have to remember that the person on your left and on your right, who gave whom which amount. So you have a duty to remember how much money you gave to the person on your right and how much the person on your left that gave it to you. You have to remember that, okay? So everybody's done?
Yeah.
So you see, in real life, you don't do that because we lack enough one thing, trust. The fact that you can give money to the person in this room because you trust them. We are a fellow part-time member.
Yeah.
I trust you, you're not going to go away with that little note. But what if it become a $10,000? Do you still give it to the person next in the room? Right?
No.
Because we don't trust each other, that's why I am the bank. I'm coming. I come in, you give the money, I say, okay, Jeremy, you gave to Singyun that amount of money, I will keep in my record. And I will keep everyone record inside my bank, inside the computer. So that's what the world is running at the moment. All form of record is storing at the bank. But what if I get hacked? Right? I don't remember anything. So I don't remember like how much Jeremy gave to Singyun, and I forget everything. So your money is gone. And in a lot of places, when you give the money to the bank, they give you small interest rate, which is nothing, right? So you don't want to give the bank. So that's why a few folk in the technology industry have created something called the blockchain. It's just a simple way of a rebel. We don't trust the bank. We want to find a different way. What if there is a way that each of you can remember how much you give it to the next person, and you don't need to remember it at all. So each of you is one block. And when you sit to next each other, it creates a chain. That's why it's called blockchain. So every block remember the previous and the next block, what is the thing that they have to do. So when you remember that how much you owe or receive on the person on two of your side, that creates a change. And that's blockchain, my friend. And when you hold the money, you instantly remember everything, right? So that's a very basic introduction of blockchains. But you can see that there's so much noise out there. For example, within travel, people call it the Sputnik of travel. Blockchain gonna change everything. It will wipe away Agoda, Booking.com, Airbnb, everything you ever know. That's the hype. Is it true? Well, blockchain in travel is like a mobile phone in the 70s, when the first mobile phone was introduced, and Bitcoin is like the Motorola Dynatec. It's the first example of a technology. So blockchain right now is in the very early day. Whether it be successful to use in real life or not, I don't know. But imagine if you still invest in it, you learn about a little bit about it, it's still better than you don't understand. Because as you see that Nokia has become an old name when Apple took over, right? What if that happened? There's another company can replace your company. So better learning, and I think that you already spent time to learn about it. Number 2 is blockchain gonna remove middleman. Just the example I just shared, that we don't need the bank anymore because each of you remember, and there is a magic algorithm that help you to remember all of these things. It will, but it's hard. So I give a real example that we are working on it. So there are 6 key stakeholders in travel. You have the supplier and you have the buyer. Between the supplier and the buyer, you have tons of middlemen. For example, a tour company will need to list on different OTA, like Viator, like Trip Airbnb Experience, there's TripMe website. And within all of these OTA, you have to hire people to review the product. You have to verify the product. You have to hire a digital marketer to promote the product. And all of the OTA hire the same team all over again. And once all of the OTA, they have to compete with each other to pay money for Google, Facebook to promote all of these tours to the traveler. And I really simplify this. I didn't mention about all the DMC, but there's a lot of middlemen. So at Trip, we say, okay, let's find a different way. So what we do is like, we say, forget all the middlemen. Let's trust everyone. So right now, the supplier is a tour company in Gangneung, South Korea. They want to submit a tour on one platform. And the platform says that, oh, I don't have enough staff to review your product. Can you send it to a retired tour guide in Cape Town? And the retired tour guide in Cape Town, how do they participate in this ecosystem? First, the supplier will say that I will pay 5 digital tokens for any retired tour guide to read through my content of the tour and give feedback. And then the supplier said, how do I trust this retired tour guide, right? There is somebody middleman to check the background. You don't need to do that. So first, the tour operator will pay 5 trip tokens. Through our community, there will be hundreds of different retired tour guides, and they receive the money. They have to do a good job, because when they do a bad job, they give a wrong review or they don't perform well, their record will be public for everyone to see. Why did you give this tour a good rating while it's a really bad tour? So they have to have a ranking system through a poll. So most of them will say, okay, I will do a bad job, I will review feedback. And then, how do we know that the tour company is really behind the tour company? It's not somebody who just run a scam. That's the second time we call the verifier, which is a backpacker traveler who happens to travel right here in Gangwon. For the backpacker, he will be able to receive the tour for free. And his job, he had to take the tour, take photo, give a review, even a screenshot, to know whether this tour company is a real tour company or not. Let's just remember the day when you have a tour company, you listed on TripAdvisor and it took forever to be listed. It's just because that TripAdvisor had to rely on their staff to do it. But what if we can just take away, we let all the people who are traveling do this job? So that's when you have verified the tour. And how about the promoter? Normally the promoter in this job will be one of the OTA to promote the tour. But what if all the receptionists at all the hotel, they receive, oh, there's a new tour in Gangwon. And somebody come down to the reception and say, do you recommend me anything to do? The receptionist said, okay, there's a new tour, I will refer it for you. And by the time they refer, the supplier will pay directly to the promoter, not Facebook, not Google at all. And then it reaches to the buyer. And once and for all, most of the time, things go well, but if they don't, there will be a dispute between the supplier and the buyer. I don't like this tour, I want a refund. No, I do my best, why should I refund? And now the company have to stand in. That's what Airbnb is doing. When there is a dispute between the host and the traveler, Airbnb had to step in and resolve the case. Sometimes Airbnb cover for all the damages that caused to the house, right? But now, if the company don't do that, there is another arbitrator in the middle who solve this problem. So this is the working theory that we are trying to create, and honestly, whether it can work or not, I don't know. But the beauty is that it's a technology that allows us to do so. So we call it TripMine, the travel token. Then blockchain remove paperwork. This is number 3 part. It does remove paperwork because you don't need a contract between people and people anymore. Everything written in the code, the money is blocked and nobody will be able to touch the money. Only when you're done with the things, then you get. A really good example is I'm doing a fundraising on blockchains. So I set a program. If all of you put the money in Trip, you will receive a token automatically in your wallet. If all of the money that you fund for me is not bigger than $2 million, automatically all of the money that fund to us will go back to your wallet automatically. And it's all written in digital contract. Nothing, no paper at all. It creates transparency. And you can see that right now in the blockchain world, all the strategy, growth plan are publicly putting under the white paper. If you can search for blockchain white paper, you can see there's tons of companies say that I'm gonna disrupt Airbnb, here's my strategy. It's publicly available. Nobody do that before. All the pitching deck, I keep winning the investor and the company, but now all of this strategy are public. In the blockchain world, there's something called the wallet address. It is similar to your bank account. So there's a website called Etherscan. For example, I'm going to give you my wallet address. If you put the wallet address into this website, you can see every transaction in and out of my wallet. So when I receive $15 million, I public my wallet address, and everyone, 10,000 of all investors can see where I move the money, where I use the money. That does not happen in real world. When you receive the money from the investor in your real bank account, you can do whatever it takes. You need an audit company. But with blockchain, you cannot do that because all of this are public. And blockchain also have to let everyone to participate, invest in a small company. You don't have the chance to invest in Facebook in the early day. That's the privilege of all the elite investors, because that's how VC work. But right now, you can sit here in Seoul, invest in a company in Seoul, Korea, through cryptocurrency. And all of that process doesn't cost you any legal paperwork at all. So that's the beauty of giving small people a chance of hope. And that's why 30% of South Korea white-collar workers invested in cryptocurrency. Because for them, they spend $200 on a company somewhere in the world. When the day they get listed, they get returned 10 times within 6 months. That's way better than the interest rate that the bank gives them. And honestly, what do you do with $200? Nothing, right? You cannot open a business. You really don't know what to do with $200. But with $200, you can put it in an ICO, hope for the get return. But because of all of these things, that's where the scammer go. So how to build a blockchain travel company? The things I really recommend is invest in you first. Well, first of all, please take $100, $200, buy a cryptocurrency. I would recommend Ethereum. And then try to invest in a real ICO to see it for yourself. Because otherwise, when you read many things, you will not understand at all. Blockchain is written by technical guys. They're not written for humans. See, the only thing that matters when you put the real money in, then you start to learn, because that's where your money gone. Lucky for me, I learned the lesson by putting $200. Within 2 months, I got $3,000. And like, shit, now I gotta learn. Because I want more, otherwise I will lose the money. But trust me, $100 testing for this, really worth it. And this is a framework by the World Economic Forum is called Blockchain Beyond the Hype. This framework will ask you 11 questions to help you decide whether you want to be a blockchain company or not. The work is already there. Just follow this simple step and you will have the answer. But last but not least, it's really hard to share with you more on a blockchain within a very small amount of time. I'm available through my email. Check out our ICO website. Last but not least, if you're in the blockchain world, download Telegram app. It's another messaging app that most used by all the crypto world, but you have to download it. And if you really want to have an hour that I can do a video call, just text me or send an email, because whether you like it or not, there's another blockchain company are doing something and they're trying to disrupt you at the moment. When you have the stock exchange, they take a day off. When the system fails, they stop trading. But within the blockchain exchange world, there's nobody stop. It's all the way running. And that's why the speed of innovation and development is way faster. And last but not least, thank you for listening. Blockchain is simple. You give money to someone next to you. You can take the example, run with your small group of friends. That's how you make money. Thank you. If you have a question, it's me.